G'day, my name's Ben. I'm from Cox Avenue in Bondi, which you can see behind me. And I want to start by telling you what I think's great about this street, that I think represents Bondi. You know, we've got people who've been here since probably the 50s and the 60s, they're 90, all the way down to kids who are, a few months old. It's families, it's younger people who are renting, we've got apartments, we've got a bit of everything. It's a really good solid mix that works. What's worrying me is these new one-size-fits-all state government development laws. If you don't know what they're saying, they're basically just saying anywhere that's been designated a well-placed suburb, which they haven't really defined, anybody can just put up 6, 8-story apartments pretty much wherever they like. Now, I want you to imagine that. Suddenly you've got houses, and right next to them you've got 8 stories. They don't worry about having any trees. All the trees, the plants, the green space goes, and they build these things right up to the edge, There's no consideration of whether that fits or whether that breaks down community. It's just developers put it wherever they like. You might think having more apartment blocks makes things more affordable, but here's the problem. If you walk around and have a look at what's been going on in Bondi lately, what developers are doing is they're taking your cheaper apartments, the ones that have been there since the 20s, and are probably the lower cost to buy and the lower cost to rent, and there might be a block of 6 of these, they're raising them, bulldozing them, and they're replacing them with 4 luxury apartments that are going for millions of dollars. What it's actually doing, these laws, is allowing people to take out housing stock a lot of the time and build it into a way that makes it only really affordable for like super millionaires. So what do we want? Every generation should have the chance to enjoy what the last generation had, So what's the answer for that? Well, look at the suburbs fabric, figure out what works for it, and then what can we do within that fabric to improve it. There's plenty of stuff that's zoned higher than it currently is in Bondi. You can keep the facades, you can keep some of the heritage, and you can put another story in a lot of different places, and make sure this stuff's affordable for people and it works within the current community. So the people that move in get to be part of that community instead of, bang, here's just a new development that just doesn't fit. So what we're asking for is the state government just to think about this within the context of where they're putting it. Don't come up with these laws that just say this works everywhere and anywhere, because it doesn't. Every community is different, and councils and communities are happy to welcome new people. It's got to be done within the right context, not within a context of wrecking the place. So that's my ask for the state government to think about putting in development that works for local communities, not stuff that just works for developers and profit for developers. The idea that it's A or B, we either have suddenly high-rise or you can't solve the problem, is just wrong. There's always a way that you can get something to work properly for everybody. So what we're looking for is density done right. The average population density of Sydney is about 2,000 people per square kilometre. In Bondi, it's already 12,000. So we're talking about a dense suburb, and making it denser has really got to be thought through properly, yeah? Think about why people want to live in Bondi. On top of that, you've got almost 3 million people a year come to Bondi for, see the beach, go to Sculptures by the Sea, whatever, which is great. Again, it's what makes this suburb great. Ask yourself, why do they come here? They come because of the beach. The beach is beautiful. What happens if you allow 8 stories all along the beachfront? What happens if you allow them up and down the streets that go into the beachfront? Suddenly you get shadowing on the beach, and suddenly you get wind tunnels that come down those roads. And suddenly the beach is not what the beach is anymore. Suddenly Bondi Beach becomes Bondi Junction, and it's not a place you want to be anymore. Bondi is held up by the state government and the Australian government as one of the #1 tourist destinations for people to come here for. So shouldn't we protect that? So let's keep the heritage and renew and do proper development done right, Let's welcome new people, absolutely, but let's do it in a way that keeps Bondi, Bondi.